In this video, do I regret my manufacturer choice of Ford? I raced the legend, the GOAT, Super GT. And penalties. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where you can see I signed for Ford. So Ford was one of my other choices I talked about. And at first I thought, excellent, this should work. The Ford GT LM car, surely it's good. It's a brand new car. Yeah, it turns out it's not that good. However, because Ford has more than one Group 3 car, I chose a different car. I went out and bought a different car. We'll have a look at that in just a second. Or you've seen it in the thumbnail, actually. Never mind, we'll see it. Anyway, you can see a quadrant car at the front there. Who is that? It is the GOAT. It is Steve. It is Super GT. We start P4, which I was actually quite happy about in the Ford Mustang Group 3 car. So I went out, bought this car, bought the tyres, happy days, job done. And the FR cars at the moment are strong. They're super strong. The MR cars, not very strong as we go to this TV cam. Look at that. It looks so good. Now we're at Spa. We're actually at Spa 24-hour layout. This is a brand new circuit, or brand new layout in the game, should I say, where we're using this start-finish straight rather than the other start-finish straight. I actually prefer this, and if they sort out the rolling start and get cars a little bit closer, this would be superb for Group 3 racing. So we kick off here, and you can see the weather is a little bit treacherous. So we are racing soft tyres in wet conditions. Now, I'd heard that this race has changeable conditions, and I wasn't sure what to go with initially, which we'll talk about later on in terms of the conditions. So I left it on racing softs, and I'd done a little bit of practice on racing softs. I hadn't done anything on any of the tyres, so I was like, I'll see how it goes. If I have to come in the pits, I have to come in the pits. As we head down towards Lake Holm for the very first time of 12. Oh, Subaru behind, nearly into the rear of me, but we survive as we continue on through this right-hander then and out of that corner. So, not doing too shabby. We catch up to the Supra up ahead of Nikito, part of TDG. I'm going to head into this fast right. Then through we go. Have to lift a little bit in the Ford Mustang, but we get an okay-ish run then on the Supra. And we're going to start looking to make the move. Then we go towards that left-hand side. But then we just come out that slipstream. Not going to quite work. So I have to back out of this a little bit of nice side-by-side there. In towards Blanchimont we go. I lift a little bit, but unfortunately I go onto the curve. Now, in my head I was like, please don't be a penalty. Please don't be a penalty. Please don't be a penalty. However, it's a penalty. Giant F, and it's in a really horrible place, the penalty line as well. So we look behind ourselves where we see a WRX head towards Barry R there, meeting their fate. And yeah, unfortunate for them. So we continue on in towards this right-hander, and we've gained a little bit of a gap there to P5 with that incident that happened. So I'm hoping here at this point that I've got enough of a gap to keep this position. That's my goal. So we'll leave that corner, I get a good run on the Supra. I'm going to drop to 4th gear quickly, and we're just still in that power band of the Mustang. And luckily for us, it's cost us about 0.6 of a second, 0.7 of a second. So 0.5 penalty to 0.7. Not too shabby in the grand scheme of it. I just need to make sure I don't cut the track. Oh, my word. I do hate track limits sometimes. But to be fair, it's right. I ran wide at Blanchimont. It's fair enough. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, somebody went off there in the background. Oh, they got reset as well. Unlucky to the GTR. Saw that in TV camera. Now, you may have noticed fastest lap just appear. Nice little update as we jump to the TV camera. Nice little update there where they don't include the first fastest lap and only include the ones from lap 2 onwards. I like that. Well played, Gran Turismo, with that update. So I believe the first... Well, actually, it's the last corner, isn't it? It's Lazarus. Last corner... First or last corner, depending on how you view it. Anyway, forget about all the details here. We've got a Subaru right behind us here, the WRX. One of the fastest cars at the moment in Group 3. In fact, it was the fastest car in Group 3 in terms of the time trial leaderboards here. And you can see they are catching solidly. They are in the slipstream. I was hoping they wouldn't go for it here. However, they're going to go for the move, which is why we're on this camera, because let's have a look what happens then. Into Lake Holm we go side by side. Look how close we are as well. Beautiful racing there with the TX3 driver, but we keep that position just in the Ford Mustang as we continue on out. Now, I at the moment, at this point in the race, I'm thinking, okay, I'm quite quick here. I seem to be catching the group ahead very quickly. I'm staying ahead of the cars behind, and the thought of tyres was crossing my mind because I noticed the wear was quite significant in this car. Let's put it that way, in the bottom left-hand side. Lap 3, and I already can see quite a significant part of red. As I say, though, we do catch up to that group ahead very quickly here. In the slipstream we go, and we are approaching Blanchimont again. So you'd think I would lift a lot more than I did. Oh, no! Tidge doesn't lift. And I was thinking, oh, for God's sake, this could be another penalty in it. Let's find out. Do we get a penalty? Yes, we do. We get another penalty. Oh, my word. I was getting a little bit frustrated here as we leave that bus stop chicane then and continue on. So we're 1 second behind because we have dirt on our tyres. We just did a little bit of a dodgy chicane there. We need to get the fastest lap there as well, even with the dodgy chicane. But it's expected when we are on racing soft tyres. As we leave that corner, WRX looking on the inside. Not going to quite work out for them here. As we leave that corner, we've got far more grip than they have because they are on a different tyre compound. I can tell you that right now. In fact, everybody is. Most people are on the mediums, which I didn't realise was the strategy. As I just turned up in softs thinking, I don't know, it'll do, it'll be fine. As we continue on up. This time, I'm going to go defensive a little bit here because I want to stay ahead. Being the faster car here, I was like, no. You can overtake me when I get the penalty. I'm staying here right now as we go in towards the right-hander. And yeah, there we go. Job done. We've got it stopped as we go through the corners. And we will look to catch up to Nizman and Nikito, who's gone up into P2 now, the Spaniard. Oh, back down to P3, though, during the lap. Right, okay, so we catch up here. And we take the penalty again. 4th gear. This time I know EX3 Evan is close. It was 7 temps there. And we're just going to stay towards the right-hand side because they will get the run here. And let them go. And in towards Blanchimon we go. We lift a lot more here because we don't want to get the penalty. And we get hazards there from Evan. No worries, Evan. I'm glad we can have a good race here. As I... Oh! You might hazards on. I didn't rear-end you, apparently. Whoopsie daisy. As we go through here. Now, of course, as I said on the previous lap, I am the faster car. So I am going to be looking very quickly to get past Evan here. So we can get back up towards the front and try and catch up to Super GT, who we've not really talked about here. Obviously, I'm assuming every single person watching this video is subscribed to Super GT. If you're not, go subscribe. The dude, the GOAT, the legend is on his way to 1 million subscribers now, which is incredible. A big shout out for that, Steve. You are a legend and well played with the MX-5 racing you've done recently at Silverstone. As we go through Eau Rouge and Radion, Evan gets all sorts of sideways here, goes towards the right side, and we get the run. But I've cut it again. Oh my God, I've cut that corner now. It's another half-second penalty. Oh, my word. I was very frustrated. But I noticed my tyres were getting quite worn here. I was like, do you know what? I might just pit because I'm assuming at this point either people are going to pit anyway because everyone's on racing softs or I'm on the wrong tyre. This is what I assumed. So, once again, we break a gap of around 7-8 temps to Evan behind. We continue on and we're going to do the exact same thing as last time. Just let Evan go through because it's the right thing to do. The sportsmanship... or the most sportsman-like thing to do as we go through the left-hander then and we head towards bus stop chicane. So I decided at this point I was going to pit because I noticed other cars behind me now at this point and I don't think my tyres could have lasted to the end of the race. Maybe they could, maybe they couldn't, but at this point I was like, I'm going to do another race anyway. It's the second to last slot. There's another slot to go. Let's pit in. Let's find out how long this pit stop actually is in case it does rain in the next race. Turns out it's a very long pit stop, as you can see here, which is expected, to be fair. I mean, we are going through all the pit lanes here at Spa. And you've also got to be careful on exit here about the white line, because if you cross that white line on the left-hand side, you're getting a 3-second penalty, and you definitely don't want that here, especially where it is when you head towards Blanchimon. Anyway, we'll leave it there then, and we're right at the back here, P14. A couple of people have left. However, we've got some catching up to do. 40 seconds here. We've gained 5 of those already as we catch up to the Nismo, the Pennzoil Nismo GT500 Nissan here, and we're in the slipstream then. So, remember this. We're catching this car quite quickly. It's at the back. So I thought, okay, here we go. We might have a good chance here in terms of racing, getting past very quickly. Because we're going to be racing one of these later on. As you see, we're purple there in sector 1. It's to be expected now. We're the only one on racing softs, fresh racing softs. We're trying to fly through the field as best as we can here. We get a good run on Levitias here. And down the inside, we're going to go of the Pennzoil Nissan GTR GT500. And that is John. It's not John. It's done. Happy days. We are done into P12 then. Let's see who we catch up to next. 3 seconds up the road, we have Error 404. I quite like that name. Fair play to you. As we have the Mazda Vision Gran Turismo car. So struggling in that car is Error 404. Oh, they're both stay there as we come through the right-hander. They actually whacked the hazards on to say they're going over to the right-hand side. And we overtake them there. Thank you very much. Didn't have to do that. We whack car hazards on just to say thank you as well. It gives us a little flash. Happy days. We're both good. And we continue on. Thank you so much, mate. Much appreciated. As we go through the left-hand. Oh! Got a yellow flag. Who's off now? I'm going to guess it's Virtual 1 Amenti because they've just dropped 6 seconds like nobody's business. And they're in the Lamborghini. Oh, Woohoo, what a choice that is. The Lamborghini Huracan. Yeah, we know it's a bit oversteery, and we see a little bit of a gap there. It's about the Ford Mustang size. We go down the inside there, get the job done straight off the bat, and then we're up in another position. Now, you'll notice the weather radar, clear as you liked, and the blue skies ahead. It's definitely not going to rain, so maybe we made the right decision here, I think, just to pit, just to make sure we can stay safe. We catch up to P9 then, who is FRT Popcorn in there. NORS01, they get it slightly wrong through Rouge and Radion, and we get a big run on them, and we overtake. Now, when I used the Ford GT here, because I did a lap or two in it, it was miles off the pace compared to this Ford Mustang, so I know the feeling of the MR cars being so far off. Hopefully they can get that sorted before any official season, because this one's a bit of a weird one. This is them doing final testing before an official season, I assume. Right, we catch up then to the next driver here then. It's a Nissan GTR. We've gained about 14 seconds on Super GT with all... Well, actually, no, it's Nikito now in terms of all the overtaking. So through there we go. We got Buonasera, it's Italy, mamma mia, in the Godzilla. Buongiorno. I'm not very good at Italian, obviously. So, what can we do versus GTR? Now, I was a bit worried here because GTR is a very quick car in a straight line. We know that. It's Godzilla for a reason. It just eats up cars for days. In towards the braking zone we go, and they can brake beautifully there. So, we do stop the car. In towards the left. Accelerate out of that corner. No problemo. And they've got quite a bit of grip there, has Bonacito. Not sure what tyres they're on. They're definitely not on softs because they've not been in the pit. So we're going to look down the inside here. Now, I was a bit unsure with this move because I was thinking, okay, they're just going to overtake me on the Camel. However, they hit the barrier on the inside, which slows them down enough for me to absolutely bolt away in the Mustang. We know Mustangs are quite powerful anyway, but obviously Bop exists. As we head up to Rouge and Radion then, through we go. Up to the top of the hill, and we have nearly an 8/10 gap. So I know I'm going to keep the position at that point. We have Magic's up next, who has a penalty, 0.5 penalty in that NSX. We get into P7 then. So our recovery drive going quite well here. 23 seconds off the lead. Not too shabby in the grand scheme of it with that pit stop. It was 40, remember. So we've gained nearly 20 seconds in this race. In fact, we advanced towards the last lap now where it's 21 seconds, and we're getting very close to that cursed position of P6. We can see it in the distance. We're not going to quite get it there. They're going to go for the lovely finish across the line. And 21 seconds off the lead. In fact, it's even less. It's 17 to Super GT. So would we have lost that time anyway if we didn't pit? I would think so on the softs because they would have been really worn. So in the grand scheme of it, I think it was the right decision to pit, bearing in mind the tyre choice I had. However, we know not to pit going into the second race. However, one thing I do want to pick up on, and I'm going to change those medium tyres now, is that how do you know the weather forecast here? This is one concern I have. I can see surface water of 9%, so I assume it's dry. What I did last time in the previous race. But it doesn't tell you what potential weather forecast is coming in, which is a bit of a concern to me. And as you see down at the bottom, the radar is very much wet there. You can see some heavy rain right at the top as well. It'd be nice to have that weather radar before the race starts, just to see what it's going to be. Just have it somewhere on the screen to show the weather radar, and you'd be like, oh, okay. And make sure you have the wind there as well, so we know the wind. Now, as I said earlier, keep a note of the Nissan GTR GT500 because we're racing one here. Fento got pole. Well played, Fento. We started in P2 in the Mustang, which I was very happy with, as we then head in towards Lake Holm for the first time. I could have actually got pole, if I'm honest. I went too deep at the chicane like an absolute lemon, but I didn't want to show the entire lap because quality laps can be a bit boring here, and I'd rather show you all the juicy racing action as we head down towards this right-hander. Now, I noticed the Subaru very close behind me. I wasn't sure whether it's tyres or whether the car is just that good because we're about a second and a half off the Subaru in time trial as we go in towards the left-hander here, and they get very close here. So I knew I had a bit of a fight on my hand. Now, you might notice the TV camera being slightly different this time. I'm using the music replay. And some of those camera angles, by the way, in the music replay are stunning. My word, they are stunning. So I'm hoping to do something funky with them at some point once I get liveries on and such. So you may see that as we look behind ourselves there at the Belgian driver in that WRX. We've got Super GT in P4. We've jumped Super GT between races. So we'll see if we get a race with Steve as well. But at the moment, this Subaru all over my rear end here. I should actually get them done for harassment. The amount of little touches going on here, that is for sure. But don't worry, I am not at all toxic there. It's actually some good racing here. And obviously, I know the reason why, and I'll discuss that shortly. So we can see Super GT here go towards the inside of the Subaru. I did go over a little bit to give Super GT a little bit of slipstream here, and then I'll sort of stay there I want them to start battling so I could break away a little bit and try and catch up to Fento as we go through this left-hander. But the WRX there keeps position. I did see Steve go a little bit wide here. I did wonder if Steve would get a penalty there at Blanchimon. But Steve doesn't. Lucky Steve indeed. As we go through left-hander. So we're keeping P2 for now. Now, in my head, I thought Fento must be on soft tyres because they have actually expanded that gap quite a lot. So we'll see what happens with that because 1.5 seconds over 1 lap is significant and they are absolutely flying at the moment in that car. Leave that corner, and once again, the Subaru staying very close here. Look at that, 2.5 temps, basically, in terms of distance. And we've got slipstream galore coming up in terms of the Kemmel Straight as we jump to that. Well, we don't jump to it, but we're looking at that music replay camera. It is so good. I need to work out how to get car engine sounds in there, and then we are golden. So they go towards the left-hand side here, and towards the right-hand side. They go absolutely flying by here. And it looks like they're going to get this job done. We fall back in. We brake early here. They brake a little bit late here. Go a little bit too deep. We're going to come back at them a little bit here, but they're in the middle of the road. I can't do anything. And they get that position. So through the right-hander we go then and continue on. And look at the grip they have. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay. It looks like to me they have a lot more grip than me as Steve goes a little bit deep behind me there and he's going to get involved in a right ding-dong battle there. Make sure you check out Steve's video if he does one on this. But through the left we go and I can see that automatically pulling a massive distance. I thought, okay, Fento and the Belgium driver are definitely on soft tyres. However, Fento wasn't. Fento was on medium tyres and absolutely flying. It was the Belgian driver who was on soft tyres as we advanced all the way to this last lap then. I'm not sure what happened to Steve in all of this. However, I said go check his video out. I'm sure he's going to do a video and I'm sure it'll be more epic and better than mine. We've got a last lap chase in our hands. The Subaru is on soft tyres and I've drawn the back end. It was about 4-second gap and then the crossover happened and now we are catching. They've hardly any tyres left. I can tell you that much, but I've made a couple of mistakes in the laps as well. So, can we close this 8 temps gap down, get in the slipstream for the final run to the bus stop chicane? I keep it tight. This is a lovely corner by me, by the way. We gain a little bit of time there. Through the left we go and accelerate out of the corner. And we can see that gap coming down a little bit more. Are we going to start seeing the 7s? In towards the right we go. We accelerate out the corner quite quickly. And there we go. We've got 7 temps to go. 7 temps to P2. Can we do it? We're in the slipstream now, of course. We're 100% in it. It's down into the 6 temps. Can we go for the ultimate dive at the bus stop chicane then? Through the left we go. We're heading towards Blanchimon. I've got to be careful because I'm in dirty air for the first time in a while. I lift quite a lot there. Maybe didn't have to lift as much. It's down in towards the half-second margin here. In towards the braking zone. The Belgium knows I'm there because they go a little bit defensive there, which is fair play. And they get it stopped. In towards the left we go. And I've got to be careful of oversteer in this car. There's a lot of power in this Mustang. Leave that corner. It's going to be 4 temps. It's going to be 3 temps. And unfortunately, we do not get that. However, another good race. Congratulations to Fento there. That's a brilliant drive in that Nissan GTR GT500 car. I'm really happy with P3 and I'm happy I can finally race again. I've had such bad manufacturers in the past 2 races and finally I've managed to have a couple of good races, which is happy days. I did notice a couple of double accounting. I did ask about double accounting, but I got told I wasn't allowed to do it. So yeah, that's the reason why I couldn't race when I was in Genesis because it was the only one I had. That is it for this video, folks. I did say it would be a Assetto Corsa today, but it's Gran Turismo this time. We're back to normal from this point. If you did like it, do give it a like. Subscribe to my channel to stay in touch with all things Gran Turismo and other racing games as well. There are 2 videos there if you want to check them out, including me raging, of course. You love that. But that's going to be it for me, folks. Have a good one. Au revoir and farewell.